Hi, I'm Stuart Spector, and we're here at Spector Musical Instruments on the Musician Network. These rods we use in the basses only. At the guitars, the neck is shorter, there's not as much tension on it, and we don't need that kind of structural reinforcement.
I see.
We have an adjustable truss rod in everything.
Yes.
But these are extra
Specific
feature for the basses.
I see.
Right.
I had actually noticed, Stuart, you have some finished bodies, some painted bodies up top. All the finish work that you're doing in terms of painting is done in a separate area.
Yes, we subcontract out the painted finishes, but we do all the hand rubbed finishes here, and I can show you our little finishing cave, which is down the hall here. Down below here are some of the Buckeye with some of their finishing coats on them. Let me show you.
These have been drying for several hours already today?
Yeah, these actually got sealer coats, I think, on them yesterday, but this is an example of what the Buckeye starts to look like as the finish happens. It's amazing the way the contrast of the wood just amplifies as soon as the sealer coat gets on it. This actually only has its first sealer coat, and you can already see the incredible appearance of it. And it's a great sounding wood too. It's lightweight and medium density. This is laminated to black walnut, some of which we get actually locally here.
When did you start using Buckeye as a wood? When did you find out that source is a great, not only a visually appealing wood, but also a good tone wood?
Honestly, Grasshopper was the guy who brought it to our attention, said, hey, this stuff's really wild and people really like it and you ought to make some basses out of it. In fact, gave us probably the first couple of pieces. So hats off to Mr. Grasshopper down there at Bass Central.
We appreciate you saying something about that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You can see in these here the abalone inlays, which is an abalone type product that we use. Something invented by a guy named the Duke of Pearl, who has the U.S. patent and distribution on it. And,
very fitting name.
And absolutely, people in the industry have seen him around the NAMM show for years. He shows up in one of those sort of pearly, like London Cockney pearly outfits covered with stuff, and supplies this material and a lot of other shell material to instrument builders all over the country and all over the world. Up above here are bolt-on bass bodies that are in the process of being finished. This is a Western curly maple top, but with a walnut stain finish on it. And here's the same sort of quilted Western maple with a black stain finish on it. This one has a Buckeye top on it.
Look at that. That's just what a great looking bass.
And all the finishing that we do here in this little room is either a water-soluble finish, which is really nice to work with and has come along tremendously in the last 10 years in terms of its appearance and usability, or oil-based finishes which we rub on by hand in applications with just a rag, maybe 5 or 6 coats, then followed by more sanding and paste wax.
Right.
So,
but basically from this point is essentially when the hardware and the electronics gets mounted.
Right, and we'll go across the hallway here and to the final assembly area.
Okay. We're now in the position of looking at the electronics and the hardware being mounted, and Stuart, why don't you introduce us to the gentleman you have here doing that for us?
This is Mr. Jimmy Eppert here, the inimitable Mr. Jimmy Eppert.
Jimmy, you want to say hello for our viewers?
Hello, viewers.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, so you're at this point the gentleman who creates the electronics to Stuart's products.
But Jimmy does the final assembly, and he also does all that finishing work that you just saw across the hallway in the finishing cave, as we refer to it.
It's got a bit of an acoustic property, like a hollow body. Not quite like a hollow body, but it's got a little bit of that element in the tone.